right, the first few things you're going to think about when you're using a hangboard to train is you always want your chalk with you because you still want good friction, and you want to make sure the area you're training in has good temperatures. You don't want it to be too hot or way too cold, right? And so in here in first ascent, it's generally nice actually because this wall actually is the wall to outside, so it'll be generally cooler in this area. And you just want to make sure you also have a brush. You brush the holds off. Beyond that, make sure you're wearing a harness so that you can add weight to it. And then so you make sure you have a sling and you have weights that you can add. This is not the most optimal method. There's some where you can add plates to it and you have a kind of a bar that goes up in the middle and they slot down into it, and then you can just link it to that. But here I got a sling, but generally I would use like a nice carabiner. But yeah, so that's that. And then you just kind of get ready, make sure the weight's all set. Your chalk bag is set as well, right next to where you need to go. And then I generally will have my phone and a stopwatch mode, and then I'll have it count up to 10 seconds. Then I'll drop right at 10, and I'll go for my full 10 seconds. That means it'll end at 20. Or you can use a hangboard app that'll kind of tell you, and you can set it up exactly how you want it to. But generally lately I've just been using kind of a stopwatch and just keeping track. And then you let it count up during your rest interval, right? So let's say I start at 10 seconds, end at 20. I'm going to start my next set at 3:20. I also have a tally counter so that I know what set I'm on, because it's easy to forget. Be like, what is am I on set 3 or set 4 or whatever? So I'll use a tally counter to memorize which set I'm on. Personally, right now I'm in the middle of my workout and I'm on set 5 for my 2-finger hangs. And I'll kind of show you how that works. And currently I'm doing the maximal hangs popularized by Steve Mach. So that's maximum hangboarding. It's basically just 10 seconds on with a whole 3 minutes off. So I have a link below on Steve Mach's blog to where he explains how to test so you know what your weight is you're going to use for the max hangboarding. And you'll also know how many sets to do per each, but basically it's 4 sets, then 5 sets, then 6. Then it's a retest day. So it's pretty easy. There's 3 different holds you're going to choose from, like I said in the last episode. And I generally will choose the crimp, the 2-finger, and the pinch, just like he prescribes in his. But next we're going to go to the repeaters. And you can read more information about repeaters with the Anderson brothers or with Eric Horst. He explains it a lot pretty well. But I'll take you through one real quick just so you understand a little bit more about it. So the first things first is you're generally going to wear a harness again. I'm finishing up my day, so I'm not going to do that. And you're generally going to weight this one as well. And generally each workout you're going to add 5 pounds to your starting weight. So I'll talk a little bit more about what that means, but for the time being, let's just get straight to it. Let's pretend I added weight and I'm on, wearing a harness and whatnot. Or you're going to take weight off if you're more of a beginner. Remember that. Take weight off if you're a beginner. Don't start adding weight until you figure out what your start weight is. And that's just generally playing around, finding something that feels pretty good, or taking weight off until it feels pretty standard, like you can do it. And then you just work up until it starts to feel like maximum and feels good, like this is a good repeater work weight. So repeaters are 7 seconds on, 3 seconds off, like I explained in the last episode. What I'm going to show you is basically I'm going to use good holds and kind of pretend that I'm in the middle of a workout. And I'm just going to do a set for you so you see what it looks like. Cool, let's get to it. Cool. So that pretty much explains it. So now I would rest 3 minutes, and then I would, if I'm doing a more intermediate one, I would do the same hold again, add weight, only 5 pounds, and I would do 6 now. You would do 7, and then you would do 6 with a little tiny bit of weight added, rest the whole 3 minutes, switch holds. Or if you're just doing like a basic kind of bare bones beginner, you would just do what I just did, rest 3 minutes, switch holds. Cool, and then one thing I would really recommend is bringing some good tunes, because this can be an arduous workout, and so you really want to be pumped up. Be strong, try your best, try your hardest, because that's how you're going to get the most gain. Cool, and then basically I would recommend always 4 to 6 weeks, 1 to 2 workouts a week. Generally, if you want to really focus on it, you would do 2. Make sure you have plenty of rest before and after the workout. Never train the day after. Generally, we would recommend like 2 days of rest after a really hard hangboarding workout.